Okay, how to remove and check the spark plugs. We've got ourselves here a 6-cylinder BMW. This is a 2007 engine, but Audi VW Mini. There's so many. Even Fords and GM vehicles are going to have very similar situations to this. These here are coil packs which go over the top of the spark plug. So in order to change the spark plugs, I'm going to do 1 and 2 here. We simply lift that lid up there, and that ejects the plug out here. Sometimes they're going to be tighter than that, but ejects it out like that. Get those plugs out of the way, and then sometimes there'll be a little bolt on the side you need to unbolt, which is holding this in place. Not here on this BMW, it's just a friction fit. So you've got a nice solid, make sure you're solid on here. You've got a nice solid cover. You've got a hole in it. You can give this just a bit of a lever. Just make sure you're levering it straight up like that, and that one comes out. And again here, levering it straight up, not wanting to do it too hard because these are just little plastic clips, and that's out as well. So now these coil over plugs will come straight out. You hear the little suction noise there as that comes out. And this one, taking those out, and that tip here actually goes down and connects straight onto the spark plug. So the coil generates the big voltage, and that goes directly onto the spark plug here. So we'll get those guys out. And then it's a matter of getting the spark plug out. Now you need a special spark plug socket. It's thinner and longer than most sockets. Now this one, I'm actually using a 5/8. There's obviously a metric equivalent, but this is working fine in here. Have a look on the internet or in your car manual to find out which size is going to be right for you with an extension onto it. And then we just lower down here. And remember the coil sitting in here, so just be gentle with everything till you get onto the head of the spark plug, and then undo it like that. Nice and easy. The same. Lowering down here. Getting it out nice and easy like that. And I'm just going to take the socket head off and screw these out by hand. Now if you've got a good spark plug socket, it'll have a bit of rubber in there to grab hold of that spark plug and lift it out for you. If not, you may need to grab a pair of long pointy nose pliers or something like that. Let's see if it... no, it came out and then dropped back in again. So we'll go to the next one. Get it on. Screw it out. We can grab those spark plugs out anyway and have a look at them. But that is how simple it is to get these guys out. And if you're replacing your spark plugs, that one just slid out as well. So if you're replacing your spark plugs, then it's just a matter now of swapping the new ones in. Or if you're getting them cleaned, you can get them professionally cleaned or whatever, but normally the DIY will just be replacing them. But it really is that simple. Unplug the wire, pull out the coil, unscrew the spark plug, and it's done. So the best way to get that pesky spark plug out, I think, is with a coil. So the spark plug's down there, just put it down. Again, you don't want to damage anything. Here we go, that's slipped on. Get it to clip into place. Look at that. Out comes your spark plug. You can see how that sits over the top. And now we'll pull that off and we'll have a look at the spark plug. Now there's some white burn marks on the end of this, and the anode at the end has got a dark mark on it. So I'm thinking this spark plug looks like it definitely needs to be replaced. It's just a bit of an intermittent misfire at low revs on this car, and when spark plugs come out looking like that, see the discoloration across the ends, it's time to give them a renew. So that's good. Don't be sad when you find something when you're pulling it apart that's a bit damaged, because if you pull things apart, everything's perfect, then you haven't found the problem. So this car needs a new set of plugs, and that'll no doubt make a difference. And the money you spend on plugs, you're going to pretty quickly save in getting better fuel economy from a better burn anyway. Okay, so we're doing great. We've got number 1 out, 2 out, 3 out. As you can see, we get further and further back towards the end of the engine here. Number 4, we've got 5 and 6. 5 I was able to get out, but 6 is actually back here under this cabin filter and so forth. So I'm going to pull the cabin filter off and see if I can't get access so that I can get spark plug number 6 off. I got the coil pack out. There was enough height there, but I can't get a spanner in, so I'm just going to see if I can get in under there to number 6. Okay, so I'm just going to rip this cabin filter off. Again, I've got a filter, a video on how to get this cabin filter off. There's a wire clip up here, and just undo that little round clip that's there. We lift this out, get it out of the way, and then we need the pliers again. There is, can we see it in there? Yep. This little section here is going to lift out as well. That's the channel which goes through to the, takes the air through to the cabin. Just going to turn these. There's one there, and there is one here. I have to turn that as well. There we go. I think that went. Did it? Right. That is actually going to need to come off as well, that rubber. That little section there is going to have to come off. This is all so we can get spark plug number 6 out. A bit painful, but not a lot that we can do about it. Got a little clip to lift so that that comes out. Got another one of these circular clips here. Try not to block the vision. Turn that. Here we go. That's now apart. So, let's see how we're going. Yes. This is a separate little section that comes out. Just sits in place. Yeah, it's a lot of pulling apart to get at spark plug number 6, but if I want to pull him out, it is what we need to do. So all of that is now loose. That's loose. It's just tight in there for some reason. Get those leaves out. Maybe if we lift this end up. Yep, there we go. Lift it up and then pull it out in that direction. There's a little rubber flapper there you can check is okay. That lets the leaves and debris and rain and everything through that comes in over the bonnet, but also lets the air in from under the bonnet there. Okay, so there is the brake booster under there with a little electronic sensor on the fill cap for the brake fluid, so you'd want to make sure that wasn't replaced too often. So here you go, this is going to be a video for how to get to the brake sensor as well, but what we want is spark plug number 6, which is now beautifully accessible right there. That is right there. So I'm going to pull that out and have a look at spark plug number 6 as well. Go back to the big bar, so I've now got good access. Even still, this is still in the way. I wonder what's involved in moving that. Alright. You do need a good set of tools to work on a car. So I can't use that big bar. I need to switch down to the smaller bar. So the spark plug socket is going to go onto the smaller bar, and then this is a flexible joint. That'll go onto there. Then the bigger bar is going to go onto there. So now we can put that in on top of the spark plug. It'll now go in under that and we can get it nice and square. You've got to come in square on top of a spark plug or something like that, because the last thing you want to do is strip any socket. So I'm actually going to hold that so that this, as the socket goes down, it's going down the center of that, because I don't want to damage that where the coilover plug system is. And that one's pretty tight. Here we go, what I'm doing. And get him right out. Sorry, my arm's in the shot there. Lift that out. Are we going to get this one to come? No, not a problem. We did before. Grab one of the coils. Grab the spark plug out. Now you will find, because how hard it is to get through to number 6, that sometimes people will replace 5 spark plugs and not number 6. But we'll see what the deal is here. Okay. Because that clipped on and then clipped off again, I know I haven't actually unwound the spark plug enough yet. So I'm going to put this assembly back in and wind the plug out a bit further. If it's still a little bit threaded in, then it's not going to lift out. Okay, now we come. No spark plug again. Hopefully your spark plug socket is going to be a bit newer. Have a rubber on it which will pull that out. A bit newer than mine. Put that in. That to go down. That should be enough. Here we go. You have the spark plug. Again, yeah, this one looks pretty much the same as all the rest, which is not great. So certainly, I don't have the plugs with me. I'll get the parts and switch them out. Alright, so I'm going to put these spark plugs back in again now. I am going to replace them, but what I've done for now, I just put a bit of carby cleaner on them to get the carbon off them and gave them a scrub with a toothbrush, and you can see they've come up quite a bit cleaner. So that's just a spray of carby cleaner and a scrub with a toothbrush, because a lot of these parts, and they're going to take a little while to come in. So I've also fortified up the little rubber socket inside here so that holds a bit better now, so we can lower them back in with the socket. We'll just go in again. My preference, always do these up by hand as much as you can, hoping you can see in there. Yep, that's come up tight. And now ideally you would want to have a torsion wrench for a spark plug, but I don't. That's okay, I know. They've got to be up snug, the spark plug. There, beautiful. One back in. So we're just going to go through and put all 5 spark plugs back in now. Okay, so the moment of truth, we're going to start it. It'll probably wind for a bit. So now with BMWs, I don't know what car you'd be working on, but with BMWs, you just need to hit the start button and then not hold it in. Just hit it, it'll keep winding until it starts. So, okay, start her up. Okay, what we're going to need to do is give it a pump of the accelerator. So start it again and give the accelerator a pump. Let's take this car for a test drive. Time to get it on the road and see how that little splutter is going.